Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is William Hindman, and I'm your host. This is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job, or they just pooch screw it up. Well, our bald-headed sheriff from Galveston is back in the news again. He is fighting his suspension for 10 years from TICO. TICO is the Texas version of like SLED in North Carolina, which is the law enforcement for law enforcement, I guess is what you could call it. When the sheriff was elected, he forgot to put in, he had an oversight. That's what he called it, an oversight. Some of the stuff he had been in, arrests, what have you, and he goes, "Oh, I just forgot. It was an oversight." Yeah. Do these people think we're that stupid? Or they are? Which one is it? I don't get it. Well, I just forgot. Can I get the definition of is? People out there listening to my voice, you need to wake up. These people are screwing us to the wall. And it's about time to stop. I am sick and tired of these cops, these bad officers out there that they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whomever they want, including murder, and get away with it. No, this is wrong. They need to be held accountable. They need to go away. Okay. With that being said, do me a favor, folks. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like and share, the thumbs up, and leave me a comment on this. This is the same sheriff who put up the signs, the checkpoint signs, and was checking every single car for driver's license that was going to the beach. Now, if they had such a problem with this, they should have just canceled it, but they didn't. This sheriff broke the Constitution of the United States and had a roadblock. And when he was asked about it, he goes, "I don't know. Our deal here says we can do this." Well, if you read it sideways, yes, and between the lines. You cannot override the Supreme Court and the Constitution of the United States, you bald-headed moron. Even though you think you can. Guys, let's watch the video.
The state agency trying to suspend his peace officer's license. The legal wrangling started last June, and now efforts to resolve the matter through mediation have fallen short.
To Investigate's Robert Arnold has led local coverage of this story and is joining us now live to explain what happened. And Robert, what happens next?
The Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, known as TCOL, licenses and sets rules and standards for every police officer in the state. Since last year, this agency has recommended suspending Galveston County Sheriff Jimmy Fullen's peace officer's license for omitting details on a personal history statement filed with two departments. Initially, the agency recommended revoking his license, but then changed to a 10-year suspension after he was elected sheriff. Both sides went to mediation on Friday, but that ended with no resolution. Now the case goes back to a state administrative law judge for a hearing to determine if a 10-year suspension is appropriate. TCOL is accusing Fullen of omitting details on his personal history statement, like past arrests before he was in law enforcement and disciplinary actions during his career. These statements are required by TCOL and used by police agencies as a foundation for background checks on those applying to be an officer. Fullen has fought TCOL, saying any omissions were just oversights, not intentional. In fact, Fullen is suing TCOL in Galveston County Court, claiming it's overstepping its authority. That case was also put on hold, but can now move forward since mediation was unsuccessful. Retired Galveston County Sheriff Sergeant Kenneth Williams supported Fullen's opponent in the Republican primary and is the one who filed the complaint with TCOL that started this process.
I think TCO really wants to stand up for integrity. They have a duty to do this. So integrity matters in our Texas peace officers. It needs to be done. It shouldn't take this long.
Integrity matters to who? The way you guys act in Texas? Are you kidding me? You have a roadblock that is unconstitutional, has been found by the United States Supreme Court to be unconstitutional. And yet this bald-headed clown sits and says, well, I don't care what they say. We can do whatever we want in Texas. Well, we realize you're your own country, like California. But, you know, to make that statement that you guys actually care, are you kidding me? What a joke.
Sheriff Fullen declined to comment, but his attorney, Tony Busby, told us they are continuing to work on a resolution, but will seek a court hearing on their lawsuit that claims T. Cole is violating Fullen's constitutional rights. Andy?
And Robert, you mentioned T. Cole originally recommended revoking Sheriff Fullen's license and then changed to a 10-year suspension. Why the change in punishment?
Another state law. At the time T. Cole recommended revoking Sheriff Fullen's license, he had not yet been elected sheriff. After he was elected sheriff, a Texas law prevents T. Cole from revoking the license of somebody who is a constitutionally elected official. T. Cole recognized that it could no longer revoke Sheriff Fullen's license, so then it recommended the 10-year suspension.
We know you'll continue to follow this one, Robert. Thank you so much, live in the newsroom.
I don't even know what to say. I'm actually beyond words. In Texas, they care about the Constitution. Really? You care about integrity. Really? The only thing that you guys care about in Texas is being your own country. Wake up. You guys join the Union of the United States. Suck it up, Buttercup. What a clown, or clowns in this case. You know, you sovereign citizen cops, because you think you're above the law, need to get it through your skull that you belong to the United States of America, not the Republic of Texas or the Republic of California. You belong to the United States of America. You don't like it, pack your crap and leave. Get out of the country. Go somewhere else. I'm sure they'll like you there. God almighty. Guys, let me know what you think. Always record the police because they're not your friends. You can't trust any of them. And try to do something good for somebody because it may come back for you. You never know. You can always change somebody's world besides your own. All right? Guys, have a good one, a safe one, and I'll talk to you soon.